I could be wrong, but I think it would be hard for Nino to Here's the thing, I don't really care who becomes sheriff. Yeah, if you're getting 720p, you're probably gonna have to refresh until it fixes. Like, I don't really care who gets sheriff. I'm gonna be honest. Like, we've dealt with the worst iterations of BCSO already. You know, what changes? I mean, I would be happy for Trav or Pred, the role players, for getting that role. I'd be happy for, you know, Lieutenant Custard to get it, like, on a personal level. But in an in-character perspective, Nino's just like, whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. Like, because the thing is, like, you know, I mean, listen, it can be better, but Nino's not, like, holding on. How do I put this? Nino's like, I'll believe it when I see it type thing. I'll believe it when I see it, right? Like, everyone's got their pros and cons. At the highest level, right? Like, if I'm going to be honest, Peters is extremely like, in character. Nino's not going to say this, right? But Peters is extremely unreliable, right? I love Peters. He's extremely unreliable. And you know, while he's been okay as, like, a assistant chief, like, in terms of, like, a moral booster or whatever, he's got his issues too, man. Because he'll get into his own we need to just shoot, sort of, like, you know, he'll get into his own mind too. And then even then, he's got the pick of Stevie, which Stevie is, like, one of the most cooked decisions, which is probably why low-key Nino's like, I hope Peters doesn't get it, because to pick Stevie is so cooked, because Stevie is, like, literally, like, and nothing against the streamer that plays it, but Stevie, the character, is extremely tainted. She lied on the stand about ordering the Magnum of Hades. And a Stevie pick definitely sounds like, I'm gonna make her do all the work while I sit back and chill. Hell no, that's not good, right? Yeah, very checked out too. So it's kind of like, that would be, I think, if anything, Nino looks at that and he's like, that's an awful choice. Yeah, Pred would be interesting. I don't know. Maybe McNulty is the better choice. I think Pred would be a good choice. But you don't know what Pred you're gonna get, if we're gonna be honest. don't think there really is a... There was a name that I had in the back of my mind. I actually think Ruby... I don't know. If I'm going to be honest... Ruby wouldn't maybe the best choice. Ruby would be a fresh face. Ruby is pretty... She's got her thin blue line mentality, but she has the ability to work with a mayor. She'd actually do the work. And it'd be a fresh face. Ruby with McNulty would actually be... Honestly, Ruby with McNulty would be really good. I'm talking on like ignoring OOC friendships. Listen, guys, all right? Trav, my homie. Kyle, my homie. Right? I don't play those games when I'm trying to give like a just straight up opinion. I actually think Ruby and with McNulty as an Undersheriff would actually hit, if I'm going to be honest. It would cause problems with LSPD Shift 2, don't get me wrong. But you'd have a Shift 2 member, you'd have Shift 2 High Command in lock. What was the problem with Bareric and Ruby LSPD again? Shut up. Shit take. Shit bait Tarek comment. Because you need to balance two people. Yeah. Say you're retarded without saying you're retarded. There you go. Yeah, Ruby and McNulty. I agree. Ruby's had time to grow as well. Oh, you actually forgot? Okay, I thought you were saying some dumb shit. I was like, are you fucking serious? Ruby got screwed because of Bareric being chief. The problem with Bareric was Bareric has no backbone. And he's actively a tea gobbler. But the worst kind of tea gobbler. Which I love the streamer. Archon's great, right? But Bareric, the character, would suck on Max's dick and then cry about him somewhere else. Suck on Nino's dick and then cry to... He's literally as far as Nino's concerned, he's literally the reason beef between Nino and Andy started, because Bareric cried to Nino about BCSO. Nino defended him and said, I got your back type shit. And then Bareric went to Andy and said, Nino's gonna destroy, like, is gonna do some shit, and completely created the rift. Nino does not fuck with Bareric at all. He's like the worst kind of rat, right? Because it's not even someone that's ratting information out. He literally will manipulate both sides just to cause drama. Oh, it was insane. He managed to, in less than 12 hours, create beef. I don't even know. I think Andy never even knows the full story, right? That's, brother, if you think that's stirring, you're on some shit. Stirring is intentional. Oh my God, that shit was insane. He's like, they don't trust me. They didn't have this decision. I'm not going to be able to da-da-da-da. Nino's like, I got your back. If I need to fucking ban him from the city, I'll fucking do that. And then this dumb fuck went like 2 hours later, goes to Andy and is like, Nino's banding BCSO. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like the child that wants his mother, father, and everyone to love him, but like stirs just to make it seem that way. Oh man, that shit was crazy. But yeah, no, I think Ruby suffered at the hands of that. He tried. I don't think he tried to stir, bro. There's no way that was a stir. That's like saying some dumb shit and then saying, just kidding, I'm trolling. No, hell no, dude. What the fuck? First day at office is funny when you told him to get the fuck out of your office. Oh my god. Yo. Star got wrong and the hood. Anyways, no, I think Ruby McNulty would be really good. I don't know who the other choice. Wait, I need to talk to Quentin. I want to know who else actually. Feel free. Sorry, was busy. I don't know. It's a tough one. But I think if you wanted to, the closest thing to getting a shake-up stability would be McNulty Ruby. Or Ruby and then McNulty. Gamer, thank you for the 4 months. McNulty, I think, is too much of a risk, if I'm going to be honest. He's untested. Then again, that's my personal. I would never put someone in that position unless they prove themselves first. It's kind of the risk that Peters comes with too. Is I love Peters, but he's not exactly been very responsible either, right? He's a good, like, I'll back you up, but to me, that's kind of an excuse if we're going to be honest. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. Well, y'all, Gamer Pro, thank you for the 3 months. There's another thing too when it comes to Nino's opinion, right? I will say that one of the most important things is who's going to acknowledge Princess as the mayor. I do think that would that's a big thing. Yeah, but people grow positively and some grow negatively. I know that sometimes gtarp can make us act a certain way. And one of those problems is people seeing things binary. Who gives a fuck where Ruby was 9 months ago? That was 9 months ago. And expecting people aren't going to change a bit is pretty retarded. I know most people are not adults, chat, in RP, viewers included. I also think that some people have this, like, no one is perfect, right? When you're working a job, when you're an executive, all right, and you have to make executive decisions, you're able to recognize people's pros and people's cons, and those different characteristics are utilized to make a decision on who will fit a role in the time for the reason to resolve a problem. If you're too simple-minded and caught up too much and can't think more like delicately, you're always going to make dog shit decisions, right? So to answer your question, what Ruby did 9 months ago could been the worst thing in the world in Nino's eyes. Doesn't change the fact that she might be positioned as the best option today. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and say everyone sucks, and then you got your dick in your hand, masturbating for the 5th time for the day. You know what I mean? There is no, like, real life is not Oblivion, where people are leveling up on a binary number, right? How does he know so much about me? Yeah. Yeah. If your only ability to assess a person is good and bad, you know, you shouldn't be really talking, to be honest, at that point. Nothing personal, by the way, to whoever said that. I'm just expanding your mind. You can say someone is good or bad based on a collection of actions and history, but like when making a decision like that, you shouldn't. You don't want to think good and bad. But then again, I can kind of understand it too, right? You guys watch this stuff like a movie, right? So it's having to see it like good and bad makes, right? Is Joffrey good or bad? Obviously bad. Is Jon Snow good or bad? Obviously good. RP, I think, is a little bit more intricate. I don't think it's full circle, man. People are a lot more nuanced in RP than like scripted TV shows. Well, maybe not everybody, right? There are some characters that are like that, but like Ruby, as an example, is a complex character. Like you wouldn't compare, like, say, Ruby with Eugene, right? That's not a shot at like Eugene the character, but Eugene, you know what you're getting, right? Ruby's character is more nuanced. Well, I don't think there actually is a morally good character, boys. I hate to break it to you. Everyone in San Andreas is evil. And if their actual persona was happened in real life, they'd probably be in jail. I hate to break it. Tessa is probably the most... Even Tessa is a murderer. Okay, there's a couple that may not be. Okay, Raya, Turner. Who else? I feel like it's Raya and Turner. That's it. They're the only people that you could argue might be good. Oh yeah, wait. Raya was a criminal. That's true. Okay, Turner. Who else? If the character existed in real, based on real life standards, name a character that's actually like good. It's literally Turner, and that's it. Fuck, not even Raya. Raya used to has killed cops. Oh my God, what the fuck? Martha. Okay, all right. Turner and Martha. I could see Martha. I don't know enough about her, but we'll put her on the list.